Hello, my name is Brian Dintelmann, Senior Research Associate at the University of Missouri. Unfortunately, as many of you probably are aware, that the Mizzou IPM Field Day has been canceled this year. But we're still working hard out here at Bradford Research Center here in Columbia, Missouri, putting out corn and soybean research trials. And since the field day has been canceled, the Mizzou Weed Science team wants to work at trying to provide some of these short, brief videos on topics that we would typically be discussing at our field day. So today, in this video, I wanted to talk to you about some corn weed management. We're just going to go through, take a look at some of the plots that we have out here at Bradford Research Center. If you're used to coming to our field days, you know that we typically would have the plots staked or signed so you all could look at those treatments. So what this video is going to try to do, we're just going to try to briefly walk through some of the plots that we've seen, or that we have out here at Bradford this year, kind of show you what we've seen in 1 versus 2 pass systems in corn. And also talk about some of the newer corn herbicides that we have, or that we are evaluating out here at the Research Center. So with that, let's take a look at some of these plots. Let's start out by looking at some of these 2-pass systems. Both systems here seem to be working very well this year across the Research Center. Either Bicep 2, Magnum, or Lexar EZ, followed by a ShieldEx GT product, we're having about 99% weed control across the spectrum. Next are some treatments from Corteva. A split shot of Resicor plus atrazine, or Sure Start 2 plus atrazine, followed by Resicor plus atrazine. Once again, these 2 pest systems are providing broad spectrum weed control of 99%. Next, we have some treatments on a block with heavy grass pressure, as you can see from the non-treated picture. The Degree Extra, followed by Diflex Duo plus Roundup plus atrazine, is starting to slip on grass control, as you can see. However, when we replace the Diflex Duo with Harness Max, we are getting control of the grasses, especially giant foxtail. Here we have a blanket pre of 10 fluid ounces of Verdict plus 1/4 of atrazine, followed by Liberty plus Status plus atrazine. We have some weed escapes and newly emerging morning glories. This particular treatment also had reduced yellow foxtail and water hemp control, in comparison to the Liberty plus Armazon Pro plus atrazine treatment. Lastly, we wanted to compare split shots of Resicor plus atrazine versus Acuron. This trial was placed on a block with heavy water hemp pressure and moderate grass and cocklebur pressure. What we have noticed this year is the Resicor treatments have been struggling on grass control, especially fall panicum. However, both treatments of Resicor plus atrazine and Acuron are performing exceptionally well on water hemp. Next, we are going to look at some 1-pass pre-only plots in corn. 1-pass systems did not look clean where weed pressure was very heavy the year before, and on blocks where we had fewer weeds, where it had been maintained weed-free for several years, 1-pass systems looked very clean for the most part. For example, here where we had lower weed pressure, 3 quarts of Acuron and 2.75 quarts of Resicor both look very clean. Other good 1-pass programs that we have seen this year in areas with lighter weed densities include 5.6 fluid ounces of Corvus and 75 fluid ounces of Harness Max. We have noticed that 3 pints of Sure Start 2 is providing about 85% weed control, but as you can see is beginning to break on species such as morning glory, foxtail, and common ragweed. However, when we look at some of these same treatments on areas with heavier weed pressure, especially water hemp and fall panicum, we can see that these 1-pass programs are not providing 100% control and may not be the best option where weed pressure is very heavy. 3 quarts of Acuron is holding back water hemp, but is beginning to see escapes in fall panicum, while the Resicor plus atrazine treatments have lost the ability to hold back late emerging grasses. In addition, we are starting to see some water hemp escapes in the Resicor treatments as well, but on average we're seeing about 90% control of water hemp, 90% water hemp control in both Resicor and Acuron treatments. Based on these results, if a field has a history of heavy weed pressure or a 1-pass pre-program in corn may not be the best solution. A layered approach of a 2-pass system will provide the best control in these areas. Finally, we will briefly go over 1-pass early post programs in corn, and their message remains pretty similar here. The heavier the weed pressure, the riskier the system becomes, especially if the weed is water hemp. As you can see here, there is heavy water hemp pressure, and these 1-pass systems did not provide complete control, about 65%. However, in both of these treatments, we only have one effective mode of action working on the water hemp post-emergent. For Armazon Pro, it is tropamazone, and for Resicor, it is the mesotrione. From a resistant management standpoint, we want to have at least two modes of action working on the water hemp. The next set of treatments all have at least two modes of action working on the water hemp, again, post-emergent. The HPPD compounds, which include mesotrione, topirolate, and tropamazone, plus atrazine. Combinations of HPPDs and atrazine have been shown to be synergistic. The benefits of mixing atrazine with HPPDs are clear in this particular study, where a high population of glyphosate-resistant water hemp is present. The HPPD-atrazine combination does not matter as much as the fact is mixing the two to increase weed control. Next, we will go through some other one-pass early post programs in corn where weed densities are much lower. Most of these treatments in this particular trial provided broad-spectrum control of 95% or greater from water hemp, cockleburr, common ragweed, giant foxtail, and common sunflower. However, we did notice that the loudest plus Extendamax or the Diflex Duo treatment did struggle to get complete control of giant foxtail, which we also mentioned before in the two-pass portion of the video. Okay, we're going to change gears here now and talk about some new corn herbicides. You may have heard a little bit about a new product called ShieldEx. ShieldEx is a new product that has a new active ingredient called topirolate, which is an HPPD compound. I provided a few specifics about the product here, but just to go over a few briefly, the use rate is very low at 1 to 1.35 fluid ounces per acre. It can be applied pre or post on up to V6 field corn, sweet corn, or popcorn. However, ShieldEx or topirolate does have better activity when applied post-emergent, especially when it is tank mixed with atrazine and appropriate adjuvants such as COC are used. Here are some early results of studies that we have conducted in 2020 that have ShieldEx in them. In this one-pass early post study, you can see ShieldEx plus atrazine plus Roundup is providing 86% control of water hemp, 99% control of common ragweed, 91% control of fall panicum, and 99% control of ivy leaf morning glory. These results are similar to the Herbicides GT plus atrazine treatment, as well as the Impact plus atrazine plus Roundup treatment. However, the ShieldEx treatments are providing significantly greater control over the Resicor plus Roundup and the Armazon Pro plus Roundup, especially on water hemp. ShieldEx in a two-pass system looks similar to competitive standards, providing greater than 96% control across water hemp, common ragweed, giant foxtail, cockleburr, and ivy leaf morning glory. And one last new corn herbicide that will be coming soon, and it is not yet labeled, is Acuron GT. This is a premix of Acuron and glyphosate. It is used for post-emergent control in corn, and you can see here in this two-pass system, which was located in an area with heavy water hemp pressure, provided excellent control across the weed spectrum. Alright, thanks everyone for checking out that video. If you're interested at all in some of the final results that we get from these trials, we post all the results at the end of the year on our website. We post trial photos, a research report, as well as some data slides and summaries. So feel free to check that out. Like I said, we post that on our website at weedscience.missouri.edu. Thanks again for watching today, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day.